Salam, everybody. Today it's a wonderful occasion to be doing this podcast along with Bapa Dr. Ali Gufran Mukti and Ibu Emira Esmeralda Openga. Today's topic is so interesting that it should really be able to catch the eyeballs of everybody. So, I am Praveen. I represent a global IT service providing company called Newgen. Newgen has the platform for healthcare and health insurance as well, and among other things. So, Newgen is hosting today's podcast, and in collaboration, we have BPJS Kesehatan, who is the apex body in Indonesia managing healthcare, the national healthcare system and the health insurance system. Friends, over the last 10 years, and the reason that I am excited so much in doing this today is that over the last 10 years, Indonesia has come a long way in healthcare transformation. And it's really, when you hear the story today, and we are going to go through this in a very friendly and conversational manner, when you hear the story today of this transformation, you will realize that how can a large and diverse country and geographically challenged country like Indonesia has been able to achieve so much within a decade's time. Mm-hmm. And that is the reason that we wanted to bring this podcast today to the world to share this with you. So, to join me in the conversation today, we have two eminent personalities from connected with the Indonesian healthcare sector. First of all, it gives me great honor to welcome Bapa Dr. Ali Gufran Mukti. Over the last 10 years, he has been a motive force, a transformational force to drive the Indonesian healthcare transformation forward. And the changes, the most latest changes, modern changes that we see today in the system has really been driven by Dr. Gufran. So really a warm welcome, Dr. Gufran.
Thank you, Praveen. Very nice to talk with you.
Thank you so much. The other eminent personality that I would like to introduce today is Ibu Dr. Emira Esmeralda Openga. And she has been connected with the insurance sector of Indonesia for a very long time, several years. And especially from a health care perspective, health insurance perspective, she is one of the leading authorities in Indonesia, driving things forward, working as an advisor to the government and as an advisor to the insurance companies as well, private insurance companies. And in fact, Emira happens to be the head of Loma, country head of Loma Limra at this point of time, which is the association which plays a leading role in the life and health education in the world. And she's also an author of several books, especially on health transformation. One example I can remember is Health Claim Administration is one of the books that she has written. So really, a warm welcome, Dr. Emira.
Thank you, Praveen.
Right. So friends, we are going to dive in straight away into the hot topic of transformation here, right? And let me ask, to start with, I would like to ask Professor Gufran, so much of transformation has happened over the last 10 years. And especially the healthcare transformation agenda that the Indonesian government launched and the healthcare strengthening project that was launched has been able to achieve so much. Of course, many countries drive healthcare transformation and they're continuously driving. But really, I would like to know here, what has been some of the unique features of Indonesia's healthcare transformation journey?
Right. Thank you very much, Praveen. I think since the establishment of BPJS Kesehatan, our national health insurance program. So we are trying that actually how we make a better efficiency, better access, better quality for all Indonesian. And as you mentioned, actually, within a decade or 10 years, we have achieved more than 281 million people, or 98% of the whole population Indonesia, or the Indonesian population, covered by this BPJS Kesehatan. As you see in Lancet, it was explained that in Germany, within, since 1883, when Otto von Bismarck established the social health insurance, they took around 127 years. And Japan, 36 years. The fastest is South Korea, 12 years. Indonesia took 98% of its population took only relatively short period of time, 10 years. And this is the one thing that unique, as you mentioned, that this all is based on the value, and the value is what we call it mutual help or mutual aid among Indonesian. The rich will help the poor, the healthy will help the sick, and this belong, the money or the fund belong, we call it trust fund, belong to all the Indonesian, not belong to our company or not belong to the government, but belong to all Indonesian. And we are not allowed to have more profit because we are not for-profit organization. And if we have profit, but we cannot also deficit. So if we have surplus, we call it, surplus should be paid back to improve quality of care to the population as the owner of this fund, something like that. And this structurally, this organization is not under ministries, but this is directly under the President of Republic of Indonesia.
Okay. Wonderful. This is really wonderful. I think one highlight that I saw from what you said is that this is not just based on policies and technological advancement, but a very strong foundation of the Indonesian healthcare is the values on which it is based, which, as you rightly said, the people who can afford and are well-to-do really participate in a bigger way in the healthcare transformation and provide for the people who are not so well-to-do. Yeah. So that's really wonderful to know.
So if they are, sorry to say, not able to pay, then the government, in this case, Ministry of Social Affairs, will pay for them, something like that, as the premium.
Right. Okay, that's wonderful. And now, in this whole transformation, any healthcare transformation involves a lot of technological aspect also with it.
Sure, that there is no single activities of BPJS Kesehatan without involving digital transformation. So you know that now we are in the room, what we call it performance management center room, which we have to monitor every day the performance of all healthcare facilities across the country. So without digital transformation, it is impossible. So a day, more than 2 million transactions, and we have to capture this transaction, and we have to know the performance of healthcare facilities, because this will determine how much we have to pay as the capitation to them for the primary care. But of course, for the hospital, the way we pay is based on diagnosis-related group, meaning that based on the, of course, this also use technology, how to classify it, how to claim, how to process a day more than 1 million claims, and we have to be correctly, address this claim and should be, paid accordingly, something like that.
Wow, it's wonderful. So, from what you're saying, digital transformation has actually permeated every part of the healthcare area of Indonesia. So, I think just for the benefit of our viewers, I would like to mention that this podcast is actually being conducted from the Performance Center of BPJS Kesehatan. And it's a wonderful center here, which also is a way of presenting to the world. Anybody can visit here and they can understand how the performance of the entire healthcare sector is monitored from this place, central location. So, to Ibu Emira, let me ask this, Dr. Emira, that insurance and health insurance is a very, it's a key part of any healthcare transformation.
Yeah.
So, how has the Indonesian healthcare insurance industry participated along with BPJS to bring about this transformation? What has been the contribution?
Okay, this is interesting, and thank you to BPJS Kesehatan and Pak Gufron involvement. We are now able to do something because before data was not there. We can't see data, we can't see anything. And insurance is based on data to calculate the risk and to know the premiums and all. Without having data, we can't do anything. So as you know, in the Ministry of Health roadmap and the BPJS Kesehatan Transformation Pathway, insurance, third-party payers, insurance, BPJS, and self-insured companies is the most very important pillar for payments. 70 to 80% payments to the healthcare providers are from third parties. So having the data make us able to calculate the risk and to ensure that the premium are rightly calculated, and we can provide the right products later on for the right group of people. For instance, there is ongoing studies on how to do top-up BPJS. So we don't have to pay the whole lots of premium for a whole lot of new benefits. The members or the policyholder can have BPJS already and use the BPJS facilities. If for things that not covered by BPJS, we will then come and top ups. Secondly is the coordinations of benefits. So from several insurance companies with BPJS, if we have the same kind of contracts, we can do coordinations of benefits. That means it's easier also on the payments and benefits payments later on. So there are lots of innovative that can be done with the data provided by BPJS Kesehatan.
Wonderful. So I think in most countries, and data is considered as the new oil of the world. And I think in most countries, one of the challenges is getting the accurate, right data at the right time.
Yes.
And that is where the private insurance companies usually hesitate to participate in a government program because of the deficiency of data.
Yeah.
So from what you're saying is BPJS has had a big focus on making sure that data in the form of big data is available centrally, and which is accessible not only to the government but also to the insurance companies.
Yeah.
And which is an important factor here.
Yeah.
Just to add the information, actually BPJS Kesehatan also produce what we call it morbidity table.
Yeah.
So as the insurance usually have to know how many people will get sick and in which time and how long, for example, they will die. So we have to have today BPJS produced already what we call it mortality table and morbidity table. So we know life expectancy based on our real data, very big data across the country.
Yeah, that's usually the other challenge that is faced by insurance companies, of getting a central mortality and morbidity data. And with your focus on this, that also has been enabled. This is a wonderful thing. I mean, which is giving a picture that there is a 360-degree coverage of transformation that's happening, and that is what is driving
Yeah.
this forward
Yeah.
more and more. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
you would like to
sorry.
add
Yeah,
something?
additionally,
Yeah.
so we are as an ecosystem, right, Pa? And the hospital also, there is a regulation for them to have e-medical record. With the e-medical record, the language for the data and technology will be standardized.
Right.
By having a standardized language, it make it easier for data exchange, connectivities, and of course for us, case management, claim adjudications can be faster
Yeah.
and more reliable. Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful example of private-public participation, collaboration, the way it is
Yes.
happening, this transformation here. That's really very good to know. And you have highlighted very well the big contribution also that technology is playing here by way of EMR, etc. Electronic medical records that are also implemented here. So a company like Newgen also has this kind of a platform. Technology company like Newgen has this kind of platform which can also be utilized for a good purpose. Let me move a little bit to the side of we usually, people outside of Indonesia talk about Indonesia as one large country with a big population, of course, which is true. But what we need to understand also is the other aspect of Indonesia is that it is geographically very distributed. There are more than 16,000 or 17,000 islands, out of which 7,000 islands are inhabited. And any island that is inhabited needs healthcare. So when Professor Gufran has highlighted that you have been able to achieve 98% by way of UHC here, it would be interesting to know, with this kind of a distributed geography, how have you been able to overcome the challenges?
Sure. I think challenges is always there. Even if we only one continent, also challenges. But it is additional challenges because we have too many islands. As you mentioned, 7,000 islands inhabited. So one way that BPJS Kesehatan always continuously leverage technology. So for example, we have one-stop application, we call it mobile JKN. So using mobile JKN, people in all Indonesian will be able to, access, for example, telemedicine over there. And we can also queue system. So by using this application, because it is a one-stop digital platform, so people can not only queue system, but no need to queue in the hospital, but while lying down on the bed, they can, queue. Not only this, but they can teleconsultation to see the doctor using the, mobile JKN and video-based teleconsultation. So they see the doctor, whether the doctor are, still, young or maybe already old or whatever. And not only those, but if it is allowed using informed consent, we use what we call it eye care JKN. People were examined in Surabaya, for example. Doctor in Jakarta will know. As mentioned by Bu Emira, that actually each hospital today should have electronic medical record. And this structurally, the data can be captured by our system. iCare JKN or P-Care for the primary health care. In the hospital, we call it iCare JKN. And, all the transaction, for example, examining medical examination done by that patient, this can be captured by our system. So people who are examining medical examination in Surabaya, for example, seeing the doctor in Jakarta will know it. If it is allowed, using informed consent, they just click.
Data privacy, they allow it, then we can share the data.
Okay, good. So, Ibu Emira, the question to you would, or in this direction, would be, for this geographically distributed country, what sort of technology has been useful in taking the healthcare forward to the especially to the remote islands?
As Prof mentioned, the telemedicine. Secondly is the e-claims. E-claims. So they just take pictures and scan the documents, send it over. Then we can evaluate the claims, adjudicate the claims, and pay the claims for a certain amount, of course, not for every like amount. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually not only those. Actually today we have from Surabaya, for example, from UNER, floating hospital. So the hospital actually it is ship, but can go around to Indonesia to the small island,
NTT,
NTT or
Ambon,
Nusa Tenggara to
Tenggara.
Ambon to any island in Indonesia. So in Jakarta, for example, like Dharmawanli or floating hospital, and they can claim to BPJS Kesehatan, and we will pay to them. So this also need a new technology, not only how to have telemedicine, but the system, the services, also the diagnosis need a new technology.
Sure. I think this actually you have led me to the next question, which is on the floating hospitals. Is one of the unique features of Indonesian healthcare sector. How you are providing the healthcare to the remote islands and that. And my question would be, to what extent are these floating hospitals equipped? Are they also able to do some complex surgeries in the floating hospitals, or is it just limited to diagnosis and then the people have to travel to the hospitals on the land? How is it?
So of course that the new technology, they should be able to make operation in the floating hospital. But in case that the patient is too complicated to do operation in the hospital, then they have to refer to the higher referral hospital in the land, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, this floating hospital is something that close to my heart.
Yes.
My alma mater, Universitas Erlangga Fakultas Kedokteran, that first established it. And many of my friends are participating and volunteering in this hospital. So like every 3 months, they will go. They will embark in the boat and they will go to these small islands. They open up operating room. They open up ophthalmologists. They even do sexual cesareans, babies. So many things. Things that they can't do, then they bring the patient over to the center nearest to where the patients live.
Okay.
So it is really like in Australia, maybe it's a flying doctors, but for us, it's a floating doctors.
Floating doctors,
hospitals.
So that's a
But
new.
previously, it was not paid by
Yeah.
BPJS.
We thank BPJS so much.
And then today, and actually already around 2 years ago, so we said that, okay, if you do like that, please, you can reimburse and claim to BPJS and BPJS will pay.
And all the claim process, etc., is the same.
Yes.
Whether it's a land hospital or the floating hospital.
Basically, it is the same.
It is the same.
And the most important, and it is unique, we should not be allowed to pay for the claim more than 15 days or half a month.
Okay.
Should not. So before half month, we have to pay if there is no dispute, nothing, something like that.
That's really very good to know, because one of the challenges that the private insurance companies may face is whether they can be whether they can enable a timely payment and the hospitals get the money that is owed to them at the right time in a short manner. So I think this is also something which you have taken care of, thought of, and taken care of very well in the claims process. That's really good to know. Coming to, Of course, launching a transformation program like a healthcare transformation across the country itself is a big thing. But the other factor that usually countries face as a challenge is how do you sustain such a large scale program? Well, I know that when Indonesia launched the healthcare transformation program, World Bank, ADB, etc., the different banks, multi development banks, they came into the picture and they played a part while launching the program. However, now in 10 years, as you have transformed, what steps are you taking to make sure that this program can be sustained, Bapa?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned that the value is very important, and the value is mutual aid. We call it gotong royong, and there was a study done in Harvard Medical School. It was published in journal, important journal, that today what is the top of the global flourishing study? The top rating is Indonesia. Why? This is because based on the mutual help, mutual aid. So in Indonesia, never seen people, even if they do not have house, lying down or maybe sleep in the road. Never. Why? Because other people will help. So help each other is the most important value. So this value, as far as the Indonesian state is still there, I think the value is still there. So they will be sustained. But not only those, of course, that international agencies like World Bank, like ADB or other international agencies will also think maybe lend the money to Indonesia. But I think this value, and of course, many Indonesian, although it is very cheap, they still contribute. Even just around 3 years ago, the government issued regulation, we call it presidential decrees, that 30 government organization and agencies, including local government, have to have BPJS Kesehatan according to their function. So by doing so, that we have together with our stakeholders, this make that this program should be sustained. And this program, in my opinion, not only the government program, but state program. Government can be changed within 5 years, but the state always there. So I think since, for example, like Bu Megawati, the previous president, Pak SBY atau SBY or SBY, and then Jokowi, and then now Prabowo, all have contribution to this important program. So this make sustain, I think.
Okay, great.
So on the commercial insurance side, the government, the regulators also plays important role. Like now there is new regulations on health insurance stating that it is a must to create new products, like we said about top up BPJS, COB with BPJS, co-payments. And then if you want to sell insurance, you have to make sure that you have the technical knowledge, people that will run the program. So the program will surely make profits commercially,
Yeah.
So it's like I said, Indonesia is very fortunate that we work together and build the ecosystem.
Okay, so it looks like the entire country is coming together to make this transformation happen, right? And sustain it, right?
Yeah, even though there might be not perfect yet, here and there, there's bumps, but we are getting there.
Yeah, true. And I think that's what makes a huge difference, right? In countries where we have seen the healthcare program succeed is really where people from all sectors of life they come and contribute.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, it's an inbuilt thing in the Indonesian culture itself.
Yes,
To
maybe
have this
yes.
kind of thing. That's really
Just to
good
let
know.
you know, then
Yeah.
before BPJS was established, there was a book entitled "It is Forbidden to Fall Sick for the Poor." For the poor, it is forbidden to fall sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Today, I changed, and all BPJS, prominent person also changed that for the poor, it is forbidden to pay when they got sick.
yeah, right.
Something like that. If they are actively as BPJS Kesehatan member, something
Right,
like that.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's really good to know, and that gives a lot of confidence to the people in the lower strata of the society that there is somebody who can take care, and they do have access to high quality healthcare also, right? So
Yeah.
there's a kind of equality that is being promoted in the society today. That's really good. Let's come to, of course, even in Indonesia, you have people of different statuses, right? And there are some very poor people in the rural areas, in the remote islands. There are also, on the other extreme, there are very well-to-do, very rich people, right? And so, how do you take care of, and these days people are talking about personalization of healthcare, personalization of insurance, that kind of thing. How do you make sure that BPJS is able to take care of people of all statuses?
Yeah. So of course, for the poor, the government will pay the premium. But for those who are rich, as you mentioned, the high income earners, they can have private insurance, and we have coordination of benefit, so that the basic we pay for the general population, but for the rich who have their own privilege, maybe if they are hospitalized, not enough with the one air condition, maybe they wanted 3 air condition, would like to have 10 nurses or what, the best doctor or whatever, please do it, but you have to pay more. And use other type, not only BPJS, but you have to subscribe and pay some more money, something commercial insurance, something like that.
Right. Okay. Which means that the BPJs can take care of the foundational layer or the basic layer of providing the healthcare, and whatever else they require, they can top up. And I think, Bu Emira, you were mentioning, and you keep mentioning in various forums that this concept of top up,
Yes.
which is there, where it's a collaboration between BPJs and the private insurance companies. Can you throw a little more light on that? What is that?
Yeah. Currently, especially for employee benefits, some companies, they pay BPJS, but also they pay private healthcare, right? Commercial insurance. But they might not use the BPJS. They only use the private insurance, But with the new transformation, with the new service, with the new quality, with the new speed of service of BPJS, people are start moving towards using their BPJS spending. And then when they need more, they top it up. For instance, if BPJS only cover physiotherapy 3 times a month, and they need for knee replacement 8 times a month. So the 5 will be taken and provided by the commercial insurance.
Okay.
Yes.
Understand.
Something
So
like that.
it's a collaboration that happens
Yeah.
between BPJS and the private commercial insurance companies.
But
That's
actually, both the BPJS and private health insurance, what they sell is trust. And this is very, very important. And we are thankful to God that the trust to BPJS Kesehatan is increasing, always increase. And today, more than 124,000 foreign citizens as BPJS members. And maybe will increasing But of course, we have to evaluate. But anyhow, the trust is very important.
Right. Now, this is really good.
Yeah.
Now, you're touching upon a topic which is also important because here we are sending a message out to the world saying that, the foreigners or the expats
Yeah.
living in Indonesia are also easily able to access healthcare and
Yes.
also are supported by BPJS
Yes.
program.
And more than 124,000 people,
Yeah.
foreign citizens,
Yeah.
today as the BPJS member.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that I myself have heard good stories from Bali, especially from Bali,
Yeah.
where there are a lot of expats staying about the good process that is
Yeah, yeah.
implemented by BPJS to support
So
them.
there's foreign citizens, for example, from Australia, New Zealand, Soviet,
Yeah.
and UK even, and China. I'm not sure for India. Maybe it's there.
Sure.
But,
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, I think every country faces one big challenge in the healthcare, which is interoperability.
Yes.
How I'm going to connect on one side the payment provider
Yeah.
who's going to pay for the healthcare services, on the other side the healthcare service provider,
Yes.
hospitals, clinics, doctors, and on the other side the actual patients who need to receive the healthcare. It's a complex ecosystem.
Yeah.
And in case of Indonesia, how have you made sure that there is interoperability between these various stakeholders of the healthcare system?
Yeah, interoperability is really a key and very important thing. So therefore, BPJS Kesehatan is not only giving dashboard to the local government, that local government will understood how many of their population already covered by BPJS, how much money they spend, how much money actually they use. And for example, 10 the most frequent diseases in that area, they should understood because we give the information. And not only those, even the hospital can trace that they claim is being processed or maybe dispute or maybe whatever. So we can give dashboard to the hospital and even the Ministry of Health so that interoperability. So we hope that the hospital just, enter one time, not double, but not double burden, just one time. But this can be shared to many important stakeholders, something like that. So by doing so, it is ready, and we are already having launched together with Minister of Health interoperability program. And today, for the innovation, we always, leverage with the digital transformation technology and other technologies. But also today we introduce Frista. Frista is face recognition. So the most important for the people, our BPJS members, if they go to hospital, so the most important that they had should not left behind. If left behind, then many nurses or doctors will run away. They go to the hospital, then in the hospital with the reader can read that, okay, this patient is the member of BPJS Kesehatan. Then they should give the, services, something like that. And today, we also use what we call it human AI. So any type of problems related to BPJS, they can just use the mobile CKN. So in the upper side, they just click the lady or the handsome boy that they click, and they can ask any type of question. And they, what you call it, like a uniform, is always change the day according to the, our staff, they use the uniform. For example, like today with the white, so this human AI in the digital platform, mobile CKN, they use a white for the Monday, something like that.
That's really good. It's customized as per the day or the occasion. Whenever you have probably any festival, for example, they have wearing that kind of a dress,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. Okay,
Yeah, that's
really,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
good.
but for insurance, maybe this is a message for system providers like you.
Yeah,
Because in insurance, the technology changes so slow, and it's so expensive
Yeah.
often. So maybe you should, like, not you in particular, but the industry should start to think about
Yeah.
low code system.
yes,
Easy to change, and easy,
User-friendly.
user-friendly,
User-friendly, yes.
and then easy to connect,
Yeah.
like, and have the language also according to what we have, Nomad City, Lyon, all this language of e-medical record that should be available in the insurance system too.
Very
So
true.
it's like the connectivity is there.
Yeah. Very true. And I think technology companies like Newgen these days realize this need.
Okay.
That it is no longer going to be up to the IT team only
Yes.
to do the coding and the
Yeah.
development, maintenance
Yeah.
of system.
Yeah.
But the actual power should be given in the hand of the users. And the operations staff.
Yeah.
And that is why companies like Newgen have a low code platform which can be
okay.
utilized and easily changed and quickly. Also, the speed of change is very
Yes.
important, and
Yeah.
and I think this is something that is really being promoted these days.
Okay.
That's really good to know.
And data owned by us,
yeah.
not owned by the insurance, the system provider.
So I think there's a clear recognition these days of data security, and it is very clear what data can or cannot cross the boundary of the country.
Exactly.
And even when a system is on cloud, for example, it is made sure that the cloud data center is within the country and
Yep.
not elsewhere.
That is very good information because in Indonesia today we also implementing a new, actually not new, already 3 years ago, but started around last year. We have law on personal protection data or data personal protection, something like that. And this we should, like you said, that it's belong to the company or to the person actually, and then depend on the informed consent of the person who is the belong to the data, who is the trustee of the data, thing like
Sure.
that.
Okay, this is good. Now, this leads us to another question on, we covered how you take care of the different status, people belonging to different status, how you take care of their healthcare, but also coming to people belonging to different age groups, right? That is also another important factor which needs to be considered, right? The younger generation is more digital savvy in nature. You have Gen Z who just does not want to type anything, right? And they want everything either voice related or handled by AI, So the question here is, and when we look around in Indonesia, we see the mobile JKN as a very important app that you have, and it is called as the super app as well, right? And also I remember that Bu Emira once has highlighted and given the concept of Satu Sehat,
Yes.
which is one health, right? How are you bringing, so first to start with Bapa, how are you bringing this kind of technology to the effect that all age groups can be taken care of?
Yeah, I think it is very important that first we leverage the digital transformation. Then the second, the different age have different type of literacy in the digital transformation. So therefore, it is very important that we have to, specifically in the target group of age group. So for the elderly, of course, there is, in my opinion, should be the young who accompany them to help, something like that. And even for those who are not familiar, the government, especially we call it Komdigi, that is the Minister of Information, should increase the literacy of the population. So not only BPJS or Minister of Health, but of course other agencies, other ministries who are responsible should do that also. But of course, that digital transformation is, I think, now unavoidable. It is should be do that and must we continue and leverage, and of course, we always update it with the new technology.
Excellent. Okay. What's your opinion on this, Boimira?
Okay. Medical doctors, they are like 80 years old doctors that still practicing,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah.
For them to fill in the e-medical record, it's a nightmare, right?
Yes.
So some hospitals already started with AI, voice recognize.
Yeah.
So it's helped them a lot. So we need to start finding ways on the digital transformation on that way. If that cannot be done, there should be caregiver that should help
Yes.
them, you know. So yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
when you go to the airport nowadays, you enter Indonesia, all Indonesia, right? You have
Yes.
to fill it in.
Correct.
Yeah, all these also have difficulties in filling it. That
So today BPJS is developing what we call it telemedicine with 3 models. So from midwife to a medical doctor in primary health care, and then from community or BPJS members to primary health care doctor, and then primary care doctor to specialists in the hospital. So they use telemedicine. But many people sometimes still have difficulties. So therefore, we have accompanied what we call it troubleshooter. So if there is technical problems with this type of new digital transformation or new technology, they should have something like that. But of course, we wanted that the people will increasing the knowledge and skill and literacy of the technology.
Absolutely. I think this is really a necessity of the current age, that people have to learn and educate themselves, raise their level of digital literacy.
Yeah.
In that sense, since you're heading the Loma and Limra in the country, is there something that from your side you're doing to kind of increase this awareness in the country, or how does it work?
Loma Limbra, we are specializing in insurance knowledge for insurance practitioners. So currently in Indonesia, before June 23rd, 2025, technical competence is acknowledged by the regulator only by the local providers. But now global recognized technical competencies as FLMI, we call it, Fellowship of Insurance, accreditation. So that is something that we would like to start rolling out, that doctors, they need to know about insurance because they are serving insurance, and then other healthcare providers, and then people that works in the corporations, the HR, they gotta know what insurance is, Yeah.
So that is on one aspect, that the financing of healthcare. But of course, that the health system transformation agenda, we are on that direction. So not only health financing, but also in the we call it infrastructure side, or supply side. So infrastructure, the doctors' competencies, the technology, human resources, as well as the medicine or drug, then also the technology, medical technology itself. But at the same time, in the demand side, we also increasing how the people can, access easily with a higher quality, with more efficiency, with more sustainable. And not only those, but health system strengthening is always there and should be put in this very important agenda.
So I think there's a very important topic which every country these days is wanting to do, and which is on medical tourism. Now I know that some of the countries that are really leading in this direction in the region includes a country like Thailand, which has a very good offering on medical tourism, etc. But having seen the facilities, infrastructure, and what Indonesia also has to offer, and now Indonesia has really come up to the mark with the healthcare transformation program. What would be your opinion, your perspective of, is Indonesia ready for a medical tourism kind of thing, or what are some of the changes that you would like to see in the system which can promote medical tourism kind of thing,
Yeah, I think when we are talking about tourism, as general tourism, Bali may be number one in the world. But when we call it hospitality. But when we then hospital, not hospitality, then a little bit different. So therefore, I think the essence is similar, hospitality. So therefore, today, government of Indonesia already being built a new hospital with very extensive technology and not, I think comparable with many developed countries. And we hope that the management, new approach, and with a low cost but high quality will be there, so that this will be ready in the near future as the tourism, medical tourism destiny.
Wonderful,
Destination.
wonderful. It's really wonderful to know that, strides are being made in that direction. So, Bu Amira, from a more medical, technical perspective, do you think some more changes need to be made to promote this medical tourism kind of thing?
Yes. Firstly, if you look at the population from our apa namanya Pak Badan Statistik Nasional itu
National Bureau of Statistics.
Yes, National Bureau of Statistics. It says that the sick people, only 32% people that are sick.
Yeah.
78% people are healthy. So when we talk about medical tourism, which part of it are we talking about? The sick people that's going abroad, or we are talking about not sick people but seeking new kind of way of living, such as longevity, aging, and then functional medicine, integrative medicine. So we need to really differentiate what it is actually we want from the medical tourism.
Yeah.
If we want to serve the sick people, like Prof. Ali Gufron said, then we need to up the standard of the hospitality of the hospital, maybe,
Right.
And it is not difficult.
Yeah.
That's not difficult, yeah.
Or you need to bring more tools and all the medical equipments that's on standard.
Yeah.
But if you look at people that's going out, that's sick, new kind of treatment like peptides, stem cells, exosomes, that's a new market. We are currently don't have the regulations on that. So the regulation side and the actual side needs to be in sync.
In sync.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sure.
The speed of bringing in the new longevity type of treatment needs to be here.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So I think first of all, there was a need for the entire country really to have a foundation, a good modern foundation of healthcare in place, which from these last few years of transformation that has happened, you already have that foundation now in place.
Yes.
So now is the time then you can look at that and go forward.
Yeah.
Use that as a launch pad and go forward into specialized areas of treatment, of wellness, etc.
Yes, we call it wellness.
Which will then promote more of medical tourism to happen.
To Indonesia. Like in Thailand, there might be the regulations already, so people can do experimental things easily.
Yeah.
Here we cannot, So what
Great.
kind of medical tourism are you talking about? That's also important.
That's
the
also important.
definitions.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So regulation also has to step up
Yes.
for that to happen
Yeah.
smoothly. And okay, that's really good to know. So it has really been interesting discussing today this
Thank you.
important topic of
Thank you,
healthcare transformation. And I think any podcast involving Bapa Gufran is incomplete unless we touch upon a very favorite subject that he has, and which is music.
Yes.
And these days I have seen presentations that he does on the stage, and usually which he likes to do is these days he's a good singer, and a lot of his songs is to do with the healthcare and the healthcare transformation here. So I would request, for the benefit of our viewers, that if Bapa Gufran can share with us one of his favorite numbers today.
Yeah, of course there are many songs, but actually, why we create and compose our song by ourselves? Actually, in Japanese, money we call it duit. Duit. So the expert in money, they said, for example, like banker, they said we cannot do it without duit. It means we cannot do it without money.
Money.
But we have no money in BPJS for operational or like singing, educate the people. It's very limited money.
Yeah.
Therefore, we should say that we can do it, although there is limited to it,
Yes.
limited money, something like that. So therefore, we composed the song, and this song inspired because in the East Java, where Bu Amira maybe was born, this hospital, we say that because you committed fraud, we should stop working together with you, collaborated with you. But actually, before stop, it might be this hospital hire content creator.
Right.
And this content creator, make the wrong information and viral.
Okay.
So because this content viral, then we make the song, we call it content viral.
Oh,
But the wrong information already viral.
Viral. Yes.
What they said because BPJS cut off the collaboration with my hospital, then my father was threatened to die because of the BPJS cut the collaboration. But it is not true because we're not yet in that time, not yet cut. It is just preparation, and we inform to the hospital.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the content creator, said the wrong information. The problem is wrong information viral. Then we inform them that this information is wrong, and then make corrective content. But unfortunately, corrective content was being ignored. So we composed the song content viral.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And innovative.
Very innovative, right?
Yeah.
And
To say and to explain to the audience.
yes, yeah, that's really wonderful. So, Bapa, can I request you maybe
Yeah.
one or two, a
Okay,
couple of
then
lines,
viral.
couple of lines. Yes,
Mainin, ayo, mainkan. Let the world know
Yeah,
content
exactly,
viral.
right? Yes.
Yes.
Let them know that the healthcare is also an interesting, work. It's not just
Yes,
serious work about it. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. So,
that is,
Bapa's team is really also changing the things in the background to make this happen.
Bapa composed the song.
Yeah, Bapa composed the song himself. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be able to do it, although there is no do it.
Yeah.
We shall clap, maybe.
Yes.
Bapak main musik juga? Iya.
Gitar.
Oh, main gitar. Successful. Oh.
and many
Other.
others. Another thing that makes it tragic, outside sorts out scammer dramatic, such as a hoax that is really fake. It's a get sauce, a shameful mistake.
Are these also BPJS members?
Correct the content mistake. We know
It shows. The content so fake. Wrong content goes viral, while corrected content is ignored. Ooh, that is so much tragic. But reality is so dramatic. Rock lagi lagunya.
Young generation.
Gen Z. That makes it tragic. Buzz by WhatsApp, scammer dramatic, such as a hoax that is really fake. Still get lost, ashamed at mistake. Particularly wrong, content goes viral. While those corrective content is ignored. Ooh, this is so much tragic. But reality is so dramatic. Corrective content is been ignored.
Wow. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Aduh.
So I don't think that there is another healthcare transformation team in the world that I have seen, which also
do like
composes its own songs and
Yes.
music. So this is dear friends, this is another unique feature of the Indonesian healthcare sector.
Because limited budget, and if there is no do it
Yeah.
or no money, we
Yeah.
have to be able to do it.
Do it,
Yeah,
do
do
it,
it.
do it. That's the
Just
new
do
word.
it, yeah.
New word that I also learned, which also means that really necessity is the mother of invention. Because you had the necessity that you did not have funds, you invented this innovative way
Actually,
yourself.
not only this, but we have what we call it company value.
Ah,
And our staff all every day have to internalization on the on the realization, and what the internalization we have to work with fun
Yeah.
and meaningful.
Yes.
Fun
Very
and
true.
meaningful.
Wonderful. I think this last line is also a message for people in Indonesia who would like to join BPJS. Right? It is a fun place to work as well, right? And I have met some of the team members also who work in Bapa's team, and I can vouch for that. It's a fun place to work as well. So this brings us to the end of today's session, and I think it has not been nothing like a serious session, very entertaining. We kept it at a very good conversation level, and I think really my heartfelt thanks to Bapa Gufran and Ibu Emira for such a wonderfully sharing such useful information about the Indonesian healthcare transformation, health insurance transformation. Friends, there is very little that we can capture in such a short time. There's a lot that can be still said and shared about this transformation, but we will do that in another session in the future, sometime in the future. Hopefully, everybody, all the viewers, you liked this content and take away something useful from this one. So we really look forward, and I think all our good wishes is also with the Indonesian people and BPJS Kesehatan for driving Indonesia into the next orbit of healthcare, and which actually, as per the topic of the discussion today, Indonesia is a beacon to the world on healthcare transformation and technological advancement in healthcare. So really, it has been an enjoyable time talking to you about this. We look forward to reassembling in the future and
Okay.
taking this conversation. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bapak.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.